First off, how are you doing? Are you enjoying your first week off since Christmas?
Yeah, it's been nice. I mean, we've had practice and stuff,
Mhm.
obviously, and all
Yeah.
of that because, well, I mean, we played Utah State earlier in the week, but it was nice having a like a lighter weekend, like with practice and stuff. Really, just like much skill work and like shooting and stuff. Nothing really too heavy, which was nice because I felt like our bodies needed it as a team, just needed that rest. So
Mhm.
that was good.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll start from the beginning. Obviously, you were born and raised in England, a country that revolves around football. Other sports like boxing, cricket, and rugby are all statistically more popular in the UK than basketball. So my first question is, how did you get into basketball as a kid? Was it just from playing at local courts that you discovered this was what you wanted to do, or did you see something in the news or on TV that got you interested?
So really, like I started playing basketball when I was 3 years old, but it was more my mom used to play and my dad played too. So when I was like young, like when I first came out, like I was always watching my dad at his games when he was playing. And like since I was like 1 years old, I always had like a little tiny basketball in my hand. Though I was always trying to run onto the court and like it's like just grab a basketball. So it was more of that got me into basketball. Then I was three and I started really kind of going to training and stuff like that, and it was like nothing crazy, just like just playing around. And then yeah, like when I was like seven is when I really played my first actual game, and it was like I was playing the age group under 13s
Mhm.
when I was seven, so I was like, but yeah,
Nice.
it was, that's how I got into it.
Sweet. So you started your playing career at Queen Ethelburga's, which, for those of you who don't know, is a boarding school in York. You averaged over 30 points a game there before deciding to move to Florida for your last 2 years of high school. What went into that decision? Had this been your plan for a while, or was going to a place with elevated competition to prove yourself the deciding factor there?
Really, it was more like I've always wanted to go to America. That was one of my dreams as a young child, but it was really more the fact that when COVID came, we didn't have a season, and like I would always see on social media that America was still playing, like some parts in America, and they was talking about like us not having another season again. So really, I spoke to my coach and just sat down with him, and I was like, Coach, I want to go to America because I can't risk like missing a whole nother season, and I don't want to do that. And he was like, Okay, I'm gonna see who I can contact, and I'll see who I have connections with. And then he was reaching out to a couple of schools, and then the school that I went to, First Baptist Academy, they reached back and liked me, and then we kind of got it started from there, really. So that's how that happened.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, you moved to Naples to play for First Baptist Academy, end up having a great run there with over 1,000 points, winning Southwest Florida Player of the Year, leading your team to a regional title. Off the court, though, I'm wondering what was the biggest difference between living in Leeds and living in Florida?
Um, I mean, the weather. Let me just start. The weather was a lot different. I mean, I guess it was just different in the case like the environment's different. I mean, Florida's more open, more free. I feel like there's more opportunities to do stuff in America, really. And it was honestly, I like Florida better. I like obviously I miss my people in England, but I just prefer the place in Florida. Like it was just a lot more to really do, really. And it was like you can hang out with your friends a lot. Like a lot of people at a young age can drive too. So it's easier to meet up with friends and hang out with friends rather than being in England, you have to be like 17, 18 to drive. So like the whole time I was there, it was like we would have to like walk to a friend's house or the
Yeah.
friend would have to live nearby to be able to even see them. So that's probably off the court. And then I was probably like I was around a lot of Christian people, and that was like a big step. Like the difference, like a lot of people that I was around was Christian because I did go to a Christian school. So a lot of people that I was around was like that. So it was good people, good influences, good like role models in that sense.
Mhm. Sweet. So, during this time, you also got the opportunity to represent your country at the FIBA Under 18 European Championships. In 2022, you led the team averaging 17 points and 6.4 rebounds per game and had a similarly impressive stint with the 2023 team. What was that experience like for you?
It was great. I mean, it was the first time I was doing it, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I know I really just bet on myself, and I know my talents could take me there, and I know I deserve to be here, and I could really compete with a lot of the people that was playing. Like we played against Um, we played against people that are on NBA mock drafts, people who are in the league right now. Like our first game was against France, and they have 3 people in the league right now, which one was the number 7 pick, Bilal Koulibaly. His number, and he came off the bench, which was the craziest part too.
Yeah.
And Sidi Sissoko, who's at Austin
I
Spurs now, though, and then Ryan Rupert, who I think went to the Trailblazers, if I'm pretty sure.
think so, yeah.
But yeah, that was their team, and then and then the rest of the team was like pros. But like yeah, we played against a lot of good competition, but it was good because like I mean, I really put myself on a platform, and that's when like college coaches really started reaching out to me from that, and it was good because I just felt better about myself, saying okay, I can really do this. Like it's been a dream from a young age, so that like really made it feel like okay, it's coming true now. Like I was kind of worried before, like, oh, am I good enough? Like thinking bad on myself and really putting a lot of pressure on myself. But then I was really like, okay, like my game's gonna get this for me. So it was good because I mean, I ended up being the 3rd top scorer in the whole tournament, which was like I was proud of myself. Like I felt like I just came a long way. So
Yeah,
that
for
was
sure.
I was happy.
Yeah. Just to touch on another thing you mentioned, I wanted to ask about your recruiting journey because I know originally you committed to play for Florida Southwestern, JUCO, very good JUCO, just a little bit north of Naples. But then a few months before the start of the season, you ended up committing to obviously San Jose State. What went into that decision, and was like, did your recruiting pick up after the FIBA? Like, did they not like was San Jose State not pursuing you before the FIBA championships, or were they already kind of on your radar?
No, it was FIBA championships. It was like after we played North Macedonia because the first game against Iceland, I didn't really have a good game. Then we played North Macedonia, and I had like a good game.
Mhm.
And I think the coach called Coach Strom, Coach Jeff Strom, he was at the game and he ended up reaching out after, but he knew one of my coaches, so it was kind of good in that way. So I could really speak to my coaches about it, and my coach was like, "Yeah, that's a good school." And honestly, like before like my recruiting, I had a lot of like interest, but like none really wanted to pull the plug and offer me. So, I mean, I committed to the JUCO because I know the JUCO has good connections. I know it's a really good JUCO. Like a couple of my friends went there and ended up in Oregon, some other big schools, and I just felt like, okay, if that's the way, then that's the way. Like I'm gonna get there either way. I'm not gonna stop until I get to where I want to get to. So that was the type of mindset I had. But yeah, so then like I went back to Florida, and it was like back and forth. Like okay, stuff started going wrong, and then it said I wasn't eligible, but like I knew I would have been. It was just because some transcripts from England needed to be transverted,
Mhm.
and we had to get all of that.
Makes
But
sense.
like England was on like school break, so they wasn't responding. So it was so hard. And then me and my mom really fought for it and bowed for it, and then it kind of it kind of started laying out, and then yeah, and then I spoke to my Florida Southwestern coach, and I told him I was like I just told him straight up. I was like, okay, when I was at the tournament, the D1 San Jose State reached out to me, and I feel like I'd be a really good fit on their team, and they're really interested in me. And like that coach, I know he's a very good guy, Coach Eric Murphy. He said go. He said go. Like that's been your dream, and that's a good school. Like go. I'm not one of those coaches that are gonna be like, no, stay here because I want to win or I want a better team. That's been your dream, and that's a good opportunity for you. So take it, which I really appreciate because not a lot of people are really like that.
Mhm.
So that's how I really know the coach wanted the best for me. So I would have been in a good place either way, I think.
Sweet. All right, so the season starts, and in the second game of the year against NAIA Bethesda, you announced your presence with 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a 45-point blowout. I know you played in the season opener for 14 minutes, but with this being your first real breakout performance, what do you remember from this game?
Um, I mean, the first half, I think I really started off very slow and I didn't really score. And then it was mostly in the second half, I was like, okay, like this is real. I'm really getting the opportunity to show myself right now. And like, I got to really show coach, like I'm new. No one really knew me. I was the last person to get recruited. I got that last spot. So I don't want them to look at me as that last option. I want them to see that I was really worth it and like I was really a good investment in recruiting me. So like that's when my mindset kind of changed, and I was like, okay, this is I gotta go for him. I just should have played my game before. It was kind of like I was still trying to like fit in, see what the role is and stuff like that. Like I didn't want to do too much and too little. So like I was thinking a lot, but then when I really cleared my head, which I do every now and again, and then I really it started clicking and yeah. So
So you've mostly come off the bench this year, but there was a 3-game stretch where you were in the starting lineup and you played really well in that time, over 10 points a game, almost 6 rebounds, solid efficiency. But since then, you've only come off the bench. Did Coach Miles talk to you about that decision? And for this year at least, what do you prefer, starting or coming off the bench as a spark plug?
no, Coach Miles didn't speak to me about it, but like I knew it was gonna come because it was a senior that really just got hurt,
Oh, okay,
which
I got you.
that's why I took the spot, and I just felt like I had to fill his shoes and what he provides for us, and
Mhm,
me starting, I felt like I came out there with more confidence. Like me coming off the bench to start with, I felt like okay, like when I was with the Stars, I didn't want to do too much. Like I was trying to play a role that I feel like didn't fit me at the same time, which was like just being there. Like I wasn't really bringing anything to the team, and the coaches did tell me that. Like the assistant coaches, like play your game, like be
mhm,
aggressive, and so yeah, that's the case. But I do like I do prefer starting, but I did not expect to start. Like it was just
mhm.
really because a starter was injured, a senior on our team, Trey
Gotcha.
Anderson. So,
Mhm,
but like starting is very nice. So I feel like I come out there with more confidence. But I mean, coming off the bench, I just one thing that Coach Miles has told you, like coming off the bench, you just got to be ready, come out the same way, like even if you was starting and just
mhm,
keep being aggressive and providing for the team. So
mhm.
yeah.
Gotcha. Um, all right. Got 2 questions left. All right. So as the season started to wind down, you've only been turning it up more. Over the last month, you've had some electric performances like 20 points on 7 of 8 shooting against Wyoming and a 17.6 rebound effort against Nevada. With your first D1 regular season officially in the books, what part of your game do you think has improved the most since the start of the year, and what area do you think you'll really try to improve going into your sophomore year?
Um, I feel like I really started being more aggressive. Like it's not really part. It was more my mindset changed. Like I really got to be aggressive. Like I knew how I played, so
Mhm,
I really had to do that. It was more like my mindset. But I felt like me finishing at the rim gotten better as we do drill that a lot in games.
mhm,
I mean in practice, and I feel like me just pushing the ball in transition. Like I really just get out. Like I feel like I'm fast, so me using my speed. I don't think there's a lot of fast people that can really
mhm,
catch up to me. So that's one thing I've seen working and what they say, like if it isn't broke, don't fix it. So like
mhm,
I just kept doing that, and I see my minutes go up. So I knew I was doing something right. And one thing I feel like I'm gonna start working on is well, not start working on, but like improve for next year is my shooting.
mhm.
I really think a lot of it to start with was confidence, but now I feel a bit more confident. But yeah, it's still just I gotta improve. I gotta improve on it. Like I'm working on it with coaches and just trying to get my shot good because I feel like that would take me really further than like where I am. Like it'll be even harder to guard me. So
Yeah, next level. I got you. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So, final question. The Mountain West tournament bracket got revealed last night, and your team is playing Colorado State in the first round. Obviously, a ton of talent on that team, led by Isaiah Stevens. How are you and your team feeling going into the tournament in this game? Are you guys coming to Vegas with the intention of running the table, or are you guys not really thinking about that and just focused on the Rams in front of you?
Um, I would say it's a bit of both. Like the
That's
focus on the game
exactly what MJ said.
we did.
He literally
It is
said it's
both.
pretty much both.
I mean, at the start of the season, we set goals, and one was to win the Mountain West Conference tournament. So that is being a long-term goal for us. But we all know we got to take it game by game. Like it's really the game in front of us that's gonna get us onto that next one. So you can't really focus on you can set a goal for the bigger picture, but then you have different goals on the way to get to that bigger picture. So um yeah, we're really focusing on it game by game, really. And I feel like if we just go there with a mindset that like we're the underdogs, which I feel like we are going there, because a lot of people I say don't really believe in us and don't believe we can do it and be like, oh, like a lot of people don't want to play us at the same time because we ran a lot of teams close. but I feel like a certain amount of teams would be like, oh yeah, we got San Jose State. Like it's
Yeah,
gonna be easy at the same time. Like they got a mix. So
yeah,
I feel like really if we turn it on and we really get it back together, then we'll be a hard team to beat. So I feel like we could really we could really turn this around, which would be
yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean,
So,
the Mountain West this year has been as crazy as ever, and the only
crazy.
the only thing left would be either you or Air Force winning the tournament. So
Yeah, that'd be
it's up to you
crazy.
guys.
That'd be crazy. But yeah,
All right. Well, thank you so much for the time, Latrell.
of course.
This was a blast getting to, break down your super cool journey, all the way
Yeah.
from England to Florida, San Jose. Like it's an awesome journey that I don't really think anybody else could has anything quite like it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
This was an honor, man. And I'll be out there in Vegas. So yeah,
Okay.
good luck and yeah, I'll be out there watching you.
Thank you. Thank you.